So, here we are, the final lesson of this course. In the previous lesson, we reviewed both arms of the immune system, innate versus adaptive. We learned that only adaptive immunity benefits from experience. When a pathogen invades our body, B and T cells study the enemy, learn its structure, and discover its weak spots. Consequently, they carefully adjust and perfect their receptors to specifically recognize and effectively knock out the intruder. This training process takes time and could even require weeks to get it right. However, this investment of time and effort does pay off. The optimized B cells and T cells are stored in the immune system's archive of memory cells and are called upon should the same pathogen attempt to infect us again. Training the immune system in the initial encounter is what promises effective protection for the future. Immunity gained the natural way is usually the result of first getting sick. Typically, we experience all the symptoms of flu or worse. Your body aches. You may develop fever, nausea, hives, and rash, which can go on for a week or two. It's during this time of being ill that our B cells and T cells train and learn how to cope with the threat to eventually eliminate the pathogen, and most of us recover. Should the same virus infect us again, thanks to memory, the trained T and B cells are recalled, and their response is strong, immediate, and effective, and thus sickness is avoided. If one could train our lymphocytes against pathogens without having to first experience disease, that would truly be wonderful. This is precisely what vaccines are designed to do. They provide our body and the immune system the opportunity to quietly and carefully study pathogens in detail, focus on points of vulnerability, train an army of B and T cells to perfection, and store them in our memory, all without disease. As we learn about vaccines, some questions might come to mind. How are pathogens rendered safe? Does training with a dud pathogen produce efficient memory? Is natural immunity any better than that gained by vaccination? Why are there viruses that seem to resist vaccination? Are vaccines dangerous? Are they poisonous? Is there a limit to the burden of vaccines we impose on our kids? In the coming units, we will address each of these points one for one. We will examine vaccines using our knowledge about cells and viruses, along with our understanding of the mechanisms of immunity. Together, we will address ideas and concerns that seem to be central to the discussion about vaccines and how it can affect our well-being.